What's up, guys? This is the second video. Um, Today I am going over Friday, what I traded on Friday, which was the 26th. Yes, so I'm going over my 26th, Friday 26th trades. Today I had two losses. I believe I lost around $490, somewhere around there. So obviously on this first trade, y'all can see I took it with two micros. What I saw here to want me to take this trade. We had manipulated down this downside, took out some internal liquidity here. Already taken out London lows here. Tapped into this is a event horizon between the Asian London lows. Tapped into a nice Asia order block, bullish order block, all that good stuff. See this inverse reality out right here. I see that we explode up pretty harshly through here, and we leave this big gap in. So instantly, I'm like, okay, let me see. Did I get a retrace into this gap? We retrace. I have my limited order here, right around 29,292, big figure right there, yeah. And then I get stopped out just because all of this chop. There wasn't high impact news; it was just medium impact news, and President Trump was speaking, I believe, later that day. So I think that could have had an impact on it, like that. And on the 2 minute too, it wasn't really our direction wasn't visible right here. It just wasn't visible direction that happened right here to see if we are either going to upside, to buy side or lower to sell side because we just barcoded for the first 30 minutes of New York Open, which is not bad, but then my second trade, wait, is that today's? Yeah, that's today's. Hold on. And then this right here, right, yeah, so I forgot about this. I entered with two micros just because I wasn't confident in this setup, just because I knew we were barcoding to the, it just seemed like we are gonna barcode since it just wasn't, I just wasn't confident on this trade. Just con I just had conviction about it. And then yeah, as I showed y'all earlier, it was invisible in the 2 minute time frame to see where we're going. Second trade, take out London highs. We move up. We create this nice gap and BPR. I don't think I should have taken this because I think BPRs just have too much of an effect to be a point of resistance rather than a point of like changing the state of delivery. Like it would have been nice to see us close below here, but I just went ahead and took it anyways, just because obviously I'm still not a profitable trader for sure in my own account for paper trading, and I'm just still learning. I broke my rules is because I entered with two micros in the first trade. I should have just went down to one, scaled down to one after I'd taken a loss. But instead, I ended up going on five. But I think the loss on with my five was lower than my loss on my second, I believe. And then yeah, so this I think I could have just had like a couple extra confluences for this. There wasn't really much going on. We were just tapping into this leg down, not really any gaps over here. We weren't we were in a premium, but just because we had already had our Judas swing to the downside, I would consider this our Judas swing right here. We just decided to take off the upside. And then today I took four trades, which again I broke my rules. And I don't really have a problem with greed or discipline per se. It's just more the impatience of waiting for my setups, and I get distracted from my phone a good amount of times. And then okay, yeah. So y'all can see here 5 micros. I took this just because we manipulated to this rejection block, created a rejection block with this news candle. Took out some, internal liquidity. Um, wasn't really great, and I understand why we didn't really take go further downside is because we had just taken out this liquidity down here. Took out everything, this nice fat sweep. We'd taken out everything down here. Everything that we were looking for was kind of already taken out. And it seemed like we wanted to reach for buy side first because we still had the previous Asia highs that we were looking to grab, that we see that we grab later on in the year session. And I just didn't realize that I was just not that focused as I was when I had, when I showed you on my first video, my $1,300 day. It's probably one of my best days on this account. I've reset my paper trading account probably close to 7 or 8 times now, maybe more than that. No, probably yes, between 7 and 8 times now. Sure, I'm just learning, but I've been keeping my losses minimal compared to my wins. My wins are bigger than my losses, which is good. So yeah, we have our IFEG here. It just it had parts of my setup, but it just wasn't, you know, A plus. I give this like a B minus, honestly. And then second trade, um, this is honestly a chaser trade. This was me just getting impatient just because I saw like, oh, IFEG, boom, let's enter. And that's not how you should be trading. For those who do end up watching this, you should not trade just like based off one confluence to your trading. Peter Ray confluence, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we take out these highs. I think I'm surprised I didn't snap. Okay, yeah. And then we take out Asian highs, which is previous Asia session highs, which is obviously a big draw we see. Yeah, this chasing price on this trade, I really didn't do anything with this trade. I got like break even on this just because I knew it was wrong. So I made like $15, not anything special. And this is where I could have had my good setup right here. This we take out Asia highs. We get into better premium, like much better premium than this previous trade. Take out the news candle and whatnot. And then we just rip to the downside right here. We drop close to like what is it like 2,000 ticks, similar to the um Thursday's price action. How it just dropped 1,000 points in 30 minutes. But then yeah, so this second trade, I would say yeah, it is 4 trades, but it's technically the same trade idea, which is not because I do believe that this second entry was valid just because I think it was worthy of the entry because as y'all can see, this would have played out for a nice chunk of change. Yeah, so I see. Yeah, we manipulate down to what am I saying? Manipulate. We traded down to Asia lows. We take out this right here is a 15-minute bullish order block. Tap into that. This is a this will this is a contract encroachment of a 4-hour wick. We see that tap in. Price starts slowing down. We create this little V shape right here, right? I enter with 2 just because I was just trying to find my rules better. Obviously, you know, 5 micros, and then 2 micros, and then 1 micros. I mean, I'm my rules are max 2 trades a day, which just because of this lack of discipline and how many trades I take, I print out my rules and I'm keep them right near my desk. So that's a good thing. So yeah, we see this gap right here. I enter on the closure above this fair value gap. what I should have seen here, and I kind of knew it once I had entered a trade, just because of this unfilled gap. I had a feeling that price was going to tap into here, back into here, and it did, as we can see. But it was a nice, quick reaction to it, and I should have just waited for that to happen because we saw clear direction. There you go. Okay, yeah. Because we could have had clear direction on the 2 minute with this nice gap, which I would always take a 2 minute gap over a 1 minute gap. But I would just was not thinking of checking the 2, 3, or 5 minute time frames just because I was being impatient for sure. Yeah, I should have just waited for this to close above, and I would have had my take profit right at true day open just because we don't really have any obvious areas to take a profit at for like hard time for closing. I mean, except for this, should have taken it this, bearish propulsion block gaps, but we just decide to run. And previously, it's just been like looking like we just decided to run into the just continue with the trend even into lunch and power hour, which is cool just because if you do end up catching this switch, the transitioning from the manipulation leg to the distribution leg, you can make a lot of money doing that. Because I follow one of the traders, Lano. He's caught something like this on an NFP day. I made like $2.4 million with 420 contracts, 420 minis, which is crazy. Crazy amount of contracts. And anyways, getting distracted. Closure. So yeah, 2 minute, a stack of 1 minute IPGs. Enter on the closure. It stopped out because I had my stop just below this body of this IPG. Then see us tap into here. Enter. I didn't know where was supposed to place my stop loss, so I just moved up the break even when I entered here, and it just when it traded back down pretty easily, and then just I was just like, I'm done for the day. I don't want to do this anymore. I've had 4 trades a day, and then we just take a, and then it follows out with my trade idea, the upside, which is it's frustrating, but I don't. I try my best not to let my emotions from trading dictate how I interact with people and the rest of my day, and that's what I'm good at, I'd say. I'm emotionally intelligent in that aspect. So the biggest things for trade psychology for me, I believe, is just the patience for the setups, not getting distracted by my phone, and just entering better. And my new entry strategy is I'm going to instead enter with 3 micros on a trade, and then wherever I set my take profit at, whether it be a true day open or a PDA array, I will add 2 micros to that trade once it closes above the 50% range between my entry price and my take profit. So that way I don't expose myself that much to risk if because I'd like to keep my stops tight. I don't like to lose. And I'd rather, I do have an on this account I do have negative R, but my account is still and probably I'm not in drawdown, which is good. And yeah, that's it for now. I will be probably just based on my schedule, since I am still a high school student and I still have service hours to do and vacations and whatnot. I am most likely going to be transitioning to trading Asia session for the next few days or longer than that, just because of my current schedule and what's coming up for me. And yeah, I want to continue the journal. This has been fun. This has been really insightful just to to help me speak my thoughts about my trades out loud and be able to find the find areas to improve on my trading, both technically and psychologically. I know there's still more technical that I can learn for my strategy, just understanding, a better understanding in logs, in dogs, and using the fib more because I know fib's got a lot of power to this more than sometimes what a gap is telling me. And yeah, that's it. And I will see y'all in the next one.